Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, in this video, because I've been doing this series of videos talking about the Madeline McCann case, which really has just come back into the public eye, hasn't it, because of the fake Madeline McCann, Julia Wendelt, being arrested on entering the country on first of all on suspicion of harassment, stalking, and now has been charged and she's been remanded in custody, which seems anyway. I'm not taking away from the fact that stalking is a serious crime, but how many stalkers do not get remanded into custody? Like Julia has been. So I do feel for her a little bit, because I do feel, she's got some issues. She's been used by a lot of unscrupulous YouTubers, etc. But having said that, if she's in prison, maybe she'll get the help she needs. Maybe they will assess her mental health, more officially. But of course, she is Polish. She's not British. So, why they didn't just put her on a plane and send her back to Poland, I'm not sure. Ban her from entering the country, isn't that something you can do? But anyway, it is what it is. She is in custody and she will appear in April. Now, of course, the McCanns, to be honest, Gerry and Kate, are probably really irritated, not only because of the stalking, but because it has created a renewal of interest in this case. This is a case 20 years old now, where poor little Madeline, bless her little heart, disappeared from her holiday apartment where her parents had just left her and her two other young siblings, all under the age of 5. 3 children just left them to their own devices in the apartment while they went off on a jolly up with their friends. So they must be especially annoyed, apart from the fact I'm sure it is distressing for someone to be claiming to be their daughter. They know maybe full well that she is not their daughter. But it has created this sort of uptick in interest and obviously because the Madeline McCann case is a worldwide case. People are interested in it all over the world. That was encouraged by the McCanns. I mean, we have to remember that. They did encourage it to be talked about. They encouraged, no stone unturned. The website took a lot of donations to find Madeline, etc. So it is something they wanted. And of course, as we know, with social media attention, and not only social media but mainstream media attention. My dog is ripping up something over there. I might have to just go and stop it in a minute. Along with that, of course, comes the negatives. Riley, here, come on. No. Along with the positives come the negatives, don't they? So they've took a lot of trolling over the years. Took a lot of people accusing them of doing things or etc. And as I say, unfortunately, that does come a bit with the territory. You put yourself out there. Now, I don't believe they go on social media at all now. I mean, they probably have somebody else who deals with it. And of course, the other siblings, Amelie and Sean, they're older now and they do their own thing, I suppose. But apparently they were targeted by Julia Wendelt with messages, etc. How she got their numbers, etc., I have no idea. So I've been looking over in little short videos just about certain aspects of this case. And what I'm going to look at today are the dogs. There's a lot made of the sniffer dogs, Keela and Eddie, who were taken to the apartment and did alerts, not only in the apartment, but also to the hire car, didn't they? And we're going to just have a little look at that, talk about it. Now, I've got to stop and start the video a lot because I tried just letting it run and tested it with YouTube, and these videos are copyright protected. So the only way I can avoid that really is by trying to play them just bit by bit, you know. Now, the thing is, Eddie and Keela, they are, what's the word? They are, you know, we'll see just how good they are, first of all. I think there's no doubt that they are very good search dogs, etc. You know, there's no doubt about that. And what we're going to watch first.
More amazing than the dogs who are trained to find murder victims or murder.
We'll watch first. Here they are, beautiful dogs. Probably not with us anymore because this was quite a long time ago, but absolutely adorable dogs. So clever, so bright. You can see the intelligence in their eyes. And what we're going to look at first is how they normally alert.
Murderers. Jersey, the Channel Islands.
So the trainer had taken them to the Channel Islands, to Jersey, because I don't know if you know, there was a children's home there that's reputed to be, you know, a site where there was a lot of child abuse, etc., and possibly might have been children's remains in this children's home. Now, I need to say that Keela and Eddie, I think they did alert to things, as we'll see in a moment. The problem is, of course, they don't know whose remains they are. You know, they will alert to blood. One will alert to blood. The other will alert to human remains. But, you know, it could be anybody's blood or anybody's human remains, if you see what I mean. You know, they're not saying if they alert to human remains, they don't know whose they are. Do you see what I'm saying? So it could be that the blood that they could alert to, it could be any blood, really. It's human blood. That's all that we know, but it could be anybody's blood. Also, they alert to things from going back quite a long way in time, as we'll see. So it's not necessarily that it's fresh blood either, or fresh, you know, human DNA traces or whatever. So that's a point to keep in mind, I think.
This may look like fun, but it's part of a training program.
Oh. Now I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I've just got to be careful. But basically what they did here was he put some very old human remains, powdered down human remains, and hid them from this dog. And this is Eddie, I think.
Usual sniffer dogs.
See.
All of them used to be with the South Yorkshire Police.
So all these dogs used to be with the South Yorkshire Police. As I say, this is a little while ago now, but it's just showing the dogs and showing what they can do, first of all.
They're here on Jersey as part of the investigation into allegations of child abuse and possible murder at the former children's home, Hope de la Garenne.
Yeah, it was a terrible... You know, I don't want to talk about that. We're just talking about the dogs.
Martin Grime must work his dogs to make sure that their noses are in top condition.
So Martin Grimes is the trainer, or was the trainer, of Eddie and Keela. And he has to make sure that they're always kept on form, if you like, and make sure their noses... I mean, you know, when you think about it, the more I thought about it when I watched this video, how important their noses are, obviously. But you have to make sure that they never get blocked, or, you know, get interfered with any other sense or whatever, that they can concentrate on the job in hand.
They wait in his van. He's hiding a jar of sand. It contains the scent of 100-year-old human remains.
So he's hidden a jar of sand that's got the scent of 100-year-old human remains in it. Wow. You know, it's incredible, isn't it? I'm just going to put this up at the bottom because I don't know if it'll... No, that's not big enough. Let's see. No. Yeah, I just want to put this fair use up at the bottom. I don't know if it makes any difference, but... So, yeah, so he's put this jar of sand with these 100-year remains.
Eddie will have to try and find it.
Ready? Here, come. Good boy. Fine.
So he points him sort of off in the right direction, I've noticed, but then that's it. Eddie's off. He's gone. I mean, it's fabulous to watch. Through the water.
Recovery dog are dogs that will search for and locate
So through the water, straight up in the rocks.
Human remains.
Eddie doesn't need a handler to help him. He searches on his own, often at night, across fields or up mountains. When he finds something, he barks.
Straight away he's there barking. And the thing is, it's amazing that they can work at night. Imagine the miles that they can cover because he's so fast.
And it's from the pelvic cavity of a skeletized corpse that was...
Oh, nice. So it's from the pelvic cavity of a skeletized corpse. And Eddie was right there, wasn't he? Barking, alerting. I mean, you know, there's not a handler could keep up with him at the end of the day. So they just let him go, off he goes. And when he registers something, he starts barking. And he found those pretty quick, didn't he? I mean, all right, he was pushed in the right direction, but he didn't know which cave they'd be in. You can see clearly when he detects them, he starts barking. So that's how he alerts. Now let's have a look at Keela. So let's have a look.
Unlock deadly secrets, leading to the discovery of a possible underground torture chamber.
Both dogs were deployed within the building, and both dogs gave a number of indications.
Now, I just want to say that at that children's home, there were things found, fragments of bones and skulls, but it couldn't be proven that they weren't like old. You know, it's still horrible to think what might have happened there in the past, but they felt they weren't recent, you know, nothing ever came of it because they weren't recent. Couldn't be proved that these bone fragments, etc., that were found weren't very old things. So, you know, but it's still awful to think that there were any there.
And as a result of the indications from the dogs, human remains and blood have been located within the building.
So nothing actually came of that, but I think it's I'm just showing it because I want you to see now how Keela reacts.
Investigation is ongoing, and Eddie and Keela will stay until it has been resolved. Keela is Martin Grimes' star. For years in South Yorkshire, she was hired out to other forces for £530 a day.
So I love this. Just throw it when she's there. So yeah, £530 a day she was rented out for to detect human remains, and apparently goes on to say it's more than a police, more than was it the police commissioner's salary or the? Let's have a listen.
A rate of pay in line with the chief constable's.
Yeah, a rate of pay in line with the chief constable.
People love her. It's her personality, her work drive, her enthusiasm, the fact that she's very, very fit. What are you going up there, here?
Yeah, she's a beautiful dog. They're both beautiful dogs. Well, all dogs are beautiful, really, aren't they? But yeah, and so clever. So this is Keela, and she's been trained to detect blood. So whereas Eddie was to detect human remains, Keela's job, if you like, is to detect human blood.
Keela is 3 years old. She's
so she was 3 years old at the time.
Really looked for something that's very small.
So what he did was he took, we'll show you in a moment, he'll show you. He pinpricked his own finger. Here we go, I think.
His.
That's the blood from one pinprick.
So he pinpricked his own finger. He put the blood on the material. He put the material in the wall, and then Keela was brought in.
Good girl. Here, here, come. Here, what's this? Up here.
And see her reaction. So he does sort of try and indicate the spot to her. Because he's doing it for the TV, so they want a quick thing. But it's her reaction. She just stock still, staring. She knows there's blood in there.
She'll actually freeze, looking at the exact location of the blood.
Amazing. My dogs do that for food. Well, one of them does. I think probably most dogs can be trained, but some dogs have the more sensitive nose, don't they? And also, I think the agility of these dogs will be relevant, won't it? That dog knows there's blood there, and this is how she presents.
Probably a centimetre away from it, staring at it with her body.
She just stares at it, look.
As to where you're actually going to look.
When she stands there, stock still like that and stares at it, she's saying, come on, Dad, here it is. I'm letting you know where it is. Come on, where's my treat, basically, isn't it? So, yeah, I wanted you to see how she presents. Then, of course, off they went to Portugal. Let's see. Yeah.
As the Portuguese police searched for her, they asked the South Yorkshire Police for help, and specifically for PC Grime and his amazing dogs.
So apparently, according to this programme, the Portuguese police asked for help from Mr. Grimes and his dogs. So I don't know how true that is. Everyone is always putting down the Portuguese police that they wouldn't accept. Personally, I think what happened in Portugal, and having been there and seen the area, and it's a place where nothing ever happens. So I think when Madeline probably first went missing, I don't think the police thought for a minute that anything would have happened to her. They just probably thought she wandered off, she'll turn up. And I'm not saying that was right. It was wrong for them to assume that. I bet they wouldn't do it now. But, I think they didn't take it seriously, unfortunately. Quite often that happens in little places like that, where sleepy places where low crime, etc. It can happen, and it's wrong, but that's what happened anyway. So I think maybe, do you think? You let me know what you think in comments anyway. Did they not react quickly enough? Anyway, they asked for these dogs to come, and off they went.
I was asked to attend Praia da Luz in Portugal to assist the Portuguese police investigate the disappearance of.
Further deepen the mystery.
So off he went, and we're going to look now. First video we're going to see is the video of the cars. Now, there's been a lot made of that, isn't there? Because these dogs did react to the hire car. And we're going to see that now. But the problem I've got with it, and I believe 100% that there was something in the car and something in the apartment, because the dogs reacted to it. The problem is, how do you prove that it was, Madeline? Whose blood could have been anyone's blood, surely, that they found in that apartment could have been from years ago. That's all. That's my only thing with it. I mean, the thing is, as soon as that dog reacts like that, stops and barks, you've got to presume that there is something, whether I'm not saying it's from Madeline, or, it could have been, you don't know who might have had something in that car. It's a rental car at the end of the day, but definitely this dog registers something. I think you just can't get away from it.
You screen the vehicles using.
Look, he looks a bit sort of, with it. And apparently, didn't Gerry McCann say, or the McCann said, dogs aren't reliable or something like that? I think these dogs are reliable, but I'm not saying that means they've done anything, though. I'm just saying it means that that dog picked up on something.
Using the dog, and the only reaction we've had is to the car in the far corner. And what we have is a reaction from the dog over here, where his head's up in the air, and he's scenting the items that he's trained to find. And when we tie him down, he picks this car or this door. The important thing to realise is that he's picking the scent that's coming out through the seal of the door.
So that was the car. Oh, I'm not sure what this is, but they put all those things down. The dog, look, straight away goes to that. And again, the reaction. So now he's going to the actual apartment itself. The thing is, you either trust these dogs or you don't. He's done those tests, like with the bones, with the blood off his pinprick, etc., to show what their reactions are. So why would we think that they weren't reacting for a reason now? But as I say, at the end of the day, it doesn't prove that it was Madeline's blood or, Madeline's remains, but something. They're just so keen to get in there. You can say, at the end of the day, it's lovely to see they just enjoy what they're doing. They want to be involved. Dogs want to please, don't they? And if a dog can please you, it will. Straight in there. It's quite eerie seeing this apartment, I think. There's already marking. So, of course, the problem is, if there is blood there, well, there must be blood somewhere. She's definitely detected blood. But is it, this is a rental apartment, or, there'd be lots of people who've stayed in this apartment. You can have nosebleeds. I mean, I don't know if she can differentiate between, for example, menstrual blood and, that's a possibility, isn't it? Somebody could have cut themselves. There's a million possibilities. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was Madeline's blood, of course. But this dog is alerting to something. Little tail wagging. Oh. Of course, this would have been, years ago, they used to dot dogs' tails, don't they? Which they don't do anymore, thank God. But it's funny sometimes to see them with the short tails. There you go again. Like, there's something here. There's definitely something here.
Okay, what we've done is we've deployed the enhanced victim recovery dog into the apartment, and by experience and the training of the dog, what I've first noticed is that as soon as I came in, the dog's very excited, and as a handler, I can pick up his body language, etc., it would appear to me that as soon as he's come in the house, he's picked up a scent that he recognises. The second dog that we've seen work today is the crime-scene dog, Keela. She will only indicate to me when she's found human blood.
Yeah, there's definitely some blood there, for some reason. A little tail. Look, and she's doing that motionless thing again.
At this point over here, where the victim recovery dog was indicated, as you saw on the video.
So I just need to stop it. So I have to keep stopping and starting it for the copyright thing.
The crime scene dog was actually giving me what we call a passive indication, where she freezes in this spot here, which would indicate to me that there is some human blood there. She will find blood that's historically very old, and she will find anybody's blood, any human blood, which is important to make sure that.
That's right, and he makes a point of saying that, you know, that blood that she's registered for could have been there 50 years or however long. It could have been one of the builders who built the apartment who cut his finger. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't know whose blood it is, the dogs. And in the next video, we're going to be looking at how this was. There was some discussion about trying to match it with Madeline's DNA, but it didn't happen. So we're going to probably look at that in the next video. I'm going to do a series, pinpoint these different facts about the McCann case, about Madeline, and just see if we can, you know, the thing is, we can look at it, we can talk about it. I know it's been talked about for years, but it never does any harm to look at things with fresh eyes, does it?
The fact that there's other scientific methods being used may stop you recovering any DNA, but if you try, we'll see what happens. But she is very, very good, and when she indicates, there is always blood there.
Yeah, so he's going to have total faith in his dogs, you know, and I think we should have. I think definitely those dogs found something. The question is what, isn't it? You know, there's no point saying dogs are unreliable. I don't think they are unreliable. They've definitely found something. Doesn't mean to say it was Madeline, but they found traces of some blood or something in the car, in the apartment. But, you know, what's the relationship? Now, I have felt lately that maybe this case will be solved one day. You know, I always felt, no, it wouldn't ever get solved. But I think now, breakthroughs in DNA, etc., I think there is still a chance that some, you know, it may get discovered eventually what happened to Madeline McCann. So what do you think happened to her? As always, let me know in comments. I know you've all got your views. Remember, don't attack other people's comments if you don't agree with them. If you don't agree with them, just scroll on down. Everyone has their views. Everyone has their, I think the other thing to remember is the one thing that everyone has in common, whatever their views, whether you think the McCanns are guilty, whether you think they're innocent, whether you think Julia is Madeline McCann, you know, whatever you think, everybody cares about this little girl and just knowing what happened to her. And this little girl probably, because that's another video I'm going to look at, you know, a very famous profiler saying, you know, Madeline, no point in looking for Madeline because Madeline is deceased. So is she deceased? And if she is, she deserves justice. And if she's not deceased, she still deserves to be found, to have it known what happened to her. Where is she? What is going on with her now? She'd be 21 years old, I think now, 2021. That's another problem, of course, with the Julia Wendelt claim, is Julia is actually older than that. So, yeah, let me know what you think in comments. Please subscribe so you can see the further videos about this case and, of course, other cases that we cover. Don't forget to leave your DNA on the like button. And most important of all, Look after yourself. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you and justice for Madeline. That's what we all want, whatever our views are, isn't it? Okay, thank you. Bye.